So the first season of The Acolyte is nearly over. One would assume it won't be getting a second season, but maybe we shouldn't assume anything at this point. I mean, it may be the She-Hulk of the Star Wars franchise, but let's not forget that a second season of Rings of Power is on the way. Personally, I can't wait for that one. But I have a hunch here. I have discussed this before, and maybe I'm wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But outside of a few content creators who are commenting and laughing at The Acolyte, I think understandably, a paranoid person might think that the mainstream media is almost amplifying the negative fan backlash in order to stir some sort of controversy. In other words, most Star Wars fans simply aren't watching and simply don't care about the show. Apathy is far worse than hate. There's been plenty of negative ratings on the series on review aggregator sites, like for example Rotten Tomatoes. One would assume it's not all review bombing. Most of it is probably genuinely disgruntled fans. But I just don't really see all that much of a story here. Like I say, the show is mostly being talked about by commentators and reviewers, be they positive or negative reviews. But the TV ratings are so low that it's clear that the show is garnering a disproportionate amount of coverage given its popularity or lack thereof. The fan base appears to have checked out by and large. I want to look briefly at this article. It's from Cosmic Book News. The Acolyte Nielsen ratings. Disney's Star Wars fanbase plummets by 75%. The data reveals the viewership numbers are the second worst for Disney Star Wars. The Acolyte Nielsen ratings are in, and as expected, they're not good, with the numbers being the second worst for Disney Star Wars. We already knew the viewership was lower than Ahsoka, but it's also been learned that the viewership is much lower than The Mandalorian by what looks to be nearly 75%. It's lower than Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's even lower than the Book of Boba Fett. The article is linked below for you to check out. So let's take a step back here. How many times have we seen the mainstream media run defense for an unpopular woke movie or TV show and blame the fans for being toxic, right? It's actually tiresome and almost cliched at this point, but I actually suspect that built into the marketing of such woke shows or films is a strategy to help promote such unpopular shows or films by leveraging the negative fan reaction, turning it into a kind of clickbait controversy and using that to boost its visibility. I mean, sure, the audience reacts negatively, but certain mainstream publications in the access media are probably just waiting for that backlash and using it as an excuse to generate more buzz about the series or movie. Even if the buzz is negative, it doesn't matter because it all helps to contribute to the cacophony of noise surrounding it. More noise means more people talking and arguing about it. So if the mainstream media were instead to try to ignore all of the negative coverage from fans, well, that would mean that they would miss the opportunity to create an internet drama. The mainstream access media try to place a framing or spin around the negative coverage and control the discourse by claiming that it's all a vocal minority of toxic fans, trolls, or even bots, right? Anything to deny reality, shift the blame for an unpopular film or TV show's failing ratings or numbers and low popularity and regain lost eyeballs. Turn the series or film into a battleground in the culture war and make it a topical, controversial issue that ignites interest among people who've never heard of the show or film or who would like to know what the fuss seems to be about. This is what I think happens in situations where a film or show is an obvious woke abomination and simply can't really be defended. So instead, the audience base is blamed for being ists and phobes, and the attitude from the media is almost like, "These fans are being mean. Look at what they're saying about this poor little progressive, stunning and brave and edgy, groundbreaking avant-garde show. Seriously, look at this wonderful production. Please, look at it. And if you don't like it, you're the problem." It makes me wonder what they'd say if we simply ignored the show entirely. They would have no one to blame anymore for that production's lack of popularity, except of course the people who made it. And we all know they would never do that. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit that like button, subscribe for more. If you'd like to help to support the channel, you can do so by heading on over to my subscribe star, linked below. For as little as $1 a month, it helps to keep the Dave Cullen Show going. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.